Welcome back, friends, to another New World video. Today we're going to be watching the New World dev update for February 2024. It's going to be said, I wasn't expecting even any exciting news until like May. I knew we were going to get some information about Season 5 at some point, but this is pretty cool. We got like a little boss looking enemy here. There's a fire staff, there's a hatchet. These videos, for those of you who have never seen them before, they are like the devs sit down in front of the cameras and they talk about various things in New World. So sometimes it can be pretty boring topics like you know, their favorite shade of leaves in Eden Grove, or different names for hatchets. And sometimes we get pretty exciting videos which talk about upcoming content that we haven't previously heard about. So a little bit of a spoiler for what to expect in this video. They're going to be talking about the Rune Forge rune trial. So this is like a 10-person boss battle. They've also got another section on bosses, another section on new artifacts, controller support, the main story quest update, cooking, outpost rush, combat system, events, quality of life, and costs, whatever that means. So hopefully going to be a pretty exciting video. If you guys want to check it out for yourself, I'll put a link in the description down below. Twitch chat, you guys will just have to wait until we get to this end of the video. But yeah, let's see what the devs have to say, shall we? Let's go. Yeah, I'm all over with my words. Shay. What the devs have to say.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Season 5 dev update.
Oh, lots
here
of
with
devs.
the whole crew. I have Scott, who always waves out of turn, so we'll do him first. We
All
have
the
Dave
dudes.
V, Tony, Dan, Chad, and Zach, and we have a lot to share. We were supposed to have a few more people, but thanks to the apocalyptic California rainstorm, to give you a hint on when we're filming this, they will not be able to make it. Also, our printers don't work, so some people may be looking at their phones. But before we get in
Imagine printing things out
with all of the goodies, I did want to share some news. I know we had promised a roadmap in May.
Oh no.
And unfortunately, we are not going to be able to share that until June. We take our commitments serious, but we've got some new information on our side that's just going to mean we can't share it. We are still...
Dude. I still don't... Okay, whatever. Whatever. Okay. What's the point of giving a roadmap for the content that's going to happen in 2024 at the end of 2024? Oh man. It's like, guys, I'm gonna give you the destinations to. We're gonna meet up at a restaurant, okay? And I'm gonna give you the directions to the restaurant after you're halfway there. Okay. What the flip?
Super excited about it, and hopefully you can all be patient and understand it's just going to be a couple weeks behind where we had planned on sharing it.
Oh, okay.
Outside of that, we have some really good news. By the time you see this video, the Advanced Group Finder should have launched, which we're all really excited about.
It works pretty well.
I haven't played it in live yet. It actually launches tomorrow morning. But as someone who plays on a lower pop server, Isabella, I think it's going to be game-changing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's start talking about all the great stuff coming in Season 5. We're going to start with Zach, who's going to take us through the Winter Rune Forge trial.
I need some good news.
Yeah, so basing off where we have with the hatchery, it's going to be a 10-person trial with some fodder and some boss encounters.
Okay.
Got a nice ancient subterranean architecture with the icy coat on it, and you're going to be running through there doing some cool stuff, puzzles, and you'll have some cool rewards, dark matter, new artifact, twice a week for bonus rewards. You can play it as many times as you
Dark matter, new artifact. Okay, this is, wait, you can play it twice a week, did he say?
Some cool rewards, dark matter, new artifact, twice a week for bonus rewards. You can play it as many times as you want a week.
Okay, for bonus rewards.
Well, you mentioned...
This is like the soul trial that we got in Season 4. This is the soul trial. So they are reusing content. However, dude, thank you, Amazon, finally. Just, you know, if you can't make new content fast enough, just take some of the old stuff, repackage it, make it into a dungeon. Like, I'm 100% behind this, you know? Take the old content and make it replayable. I think it's fine.
Twice a week for bonus rewards. You can play it as many times as you want a week, though.
Well, you mentioned bosses. Be cool if you could talk a little more about those.
I'll take that, sure. In this 10-person raid, players will be revisiting the Ophidian Construct as well as the Ice Guardian.
I remember this guy. A lot of people struggled against this boss.
Played these in their solo
in the season trial.
But they were actually designed and developed as 10-person raid bosses. So players will now be seeing them in their full glory, their full power.
These bosses look cool. They had some cool mechanics. This guy in particular.
We want to be a little bit more pug friendly, so so it won't be quite as hard as like a sandworm. but definitely still on the challenging side. The Ophidian Construct, definitely a challenge of positioning, making sure to pull apart those constructs as they're splitting and fracturing. And then the Ice Guardian, more challenges with the rune puzzle, as well as positioning with the torches. Going to be really, really important on that fight.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Should put a pretty good challenge in front of the players.
And there's an artifact,
cool.
So people will be grinding it to get the artifact.
And I heard someone mention artifacts. Tony, you want to tell us a little bit about the new artifacts coming this season?
Yeah, so for Season 5, we've got a
Axe.
handful of new artifacts coming out. We've got some weapons, armor, and trinkets. I won't go into the details of...
Here we go, dude. Look at this. All right, it's good. Turn my camera off so you can see everything. Sin. It's so we got another artifact hatchet. Okay, corruption. Debuffs last 25% longer. Works on both weapons. Defile. Deals 2% more damage per debuff on a target. It's magnify, obviously. This looks pretty cool. So you put debuffs on that. What is this as well? Look at that. Now you have your character's level up here, along with your gear score. Is this a character level symbol up there? Any other secret changes, chat? Not noticing anything right now. Heart rune. Those gloves. It's like a new pair of artifact gloves as well. Is that a new amulet as well? That might be a new amulet. I guess they're probably going to mouse over it. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. You could run this with like, I don't know, with Void Gauntlet. Probably quite a few weapons you could run it with. 2% more damage per debuff on the target, 5 stacks max. It's going to be pretty good in PvE, to be honest. This will be a pretty good PvE, and it could work in PvP as well. Magnify is getting changed.
The different perks and whatnot, just leave that for discovery.
Sorry, chat. Here we go. Another one. We have Tempest Fury. This is a great axe. It says successful attacks gain 3% movement speed for 3 seconds. Works on both weapons. Stacks 10 times. Whirlwind spins an extra 10 times. Nice. And it's got keen speed. And it's got a fortifying whirlwind. So it's getting woo, 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 woo. So 3% movement speed for stacks of 10. So it's going to be a 30% movement speed increase plus keen speed, which is one of those is going to be a crit. So it is going to be a 50% movement speed increase with whirlwind. That sounds fun. I like that, dude. It's going to be the Beyblade build. That does sound pretty fun. Maybe not like super overpowered, but that sounds pretty fun. It's not going to be too powerful.
But personally, for me, a couple I'm excited about.
And then we've got Gilly's Gravity Gauntlets. So these are the gauntlets, the heavy gloves. Whenever you take damage, gain an empower charge that increases the damage of your next attack by 3%. Oh, so I thought this was going to be based on heavy attacks. They changed these? Whenever you take damage, gain an empower charge that increases the damage of your next attack by 3%. So this is kind of like Jasper to some degree. Oh, and it's just, wait, it's got Defile? I think that's probably a bug down there. I don't think it's supposed to have Defile on it. That seems a bit strange. It's going to be pretty good for tanks, PvE tanks, who want to do a bit of extra damage but want to stay in heavy armor. Also, the icon for them looks pretty cool as well. That seems kind of fun. They seem okay. Maybe not like too great, but I don't know if that Defile perk's supposed to be there. I imagine that's a bug, but if it's not, yeah, those are going to be solid. I could see quite a few heavy armor, quite a few tanks wearing this.
We've got the Gravity Gauntlets, which is going to give you a stacking buff on your heavy attack.
Dude, I just realized that's a new spear. Is that a new pair of legs? A new pair of boots? How many artifacts are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 artifacts that I can see on this screen right now. Wait, I thought, are we not getting the earring and the ring? Are they not doing those anymore? Why gravity in the name? Yeah, that's true. Why is gravity in the name? It says, these gauntlets can hold a kinetic charge that can be unleashed, dealing a massive attack. They feel cold to the touch and warm up as they... No idea. I don't know what the gravity thing's to do with. I don't know what the flavor is there.
So every light attack, you get 3% additional damage, up to 10 stacks for your next heavy. So if you can like pair that with some crits, you can do some really good damage. And then the other one is the Phoenix, which is a trinket. And that one is every 180 seconds.
When you receive lethal damage, avoid death and become invulnerable for 2 seconds. Interesting, dude. It's got Defile again. Is that bugged? I can't imagine that's... Are they putting Defile on everything? Stamina recovery, purify. No health, but you can obviously choose to put a perk on it. Damn, dude. When you receive lethal damage, avoid death and become invulnerable. Interesting. That's just defy death for everybody. Honestly, as a healer, a blood drinker, don't really care for it. Ankh, doesn't really matter that much. There's not really any artifacts that you use as a healer right now that really make that much of a difference. This, though, that could be pretty good. That could be pretty good.
If you hit 0 health and you're supposed to die, you'll gain 2 seconds of invulnerability. So anybody who may have played a while ago and used to enjoy that from Berserk on the Hatchet, it's there in an artifact form.
Was there a new gem in
I'm
that?
really excited about those two.
And I like the...
Hold on, I want to go back. Was there a new type of gem? Did I not see it? It's Jasper, Diamond... I'm not seeing anything new. 6% arcane damage. This is a sapphire gem. You just don't see that very often.
They played a while ago and used to enjoy that from Berserk on the Hatchet. It's there in an artifact form. So I'm really excited about those two.
And I like the there's a pair of boots coming out that sort of encourage like the ambush
Oh, here we go.
kind of gameplay combat mechanic where
deal 15% more damage and 25% crit chance as long as you haven't hit the target within 20 seconds. 15% more damage and 25% crit chance as long as you haven't hit the target within 20 seconds. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool for like muskets doing a lot of damage up front. This is going to be really fun to stack with Empowering Fireball, actually. Yeah, this is a pretty gimmicky item here. Probably going to go down with the sort of Grey Wizard's hat and stuff like that, where, you know, maybe like a very small number of people use it, but there was a new gem. Am I just blind? We'll keep going.
you get a bonus damage for a short period of time after you go into combat, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, like your openers become way more impactful.
Yeah.
Initiative roll, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And one thing I wanted to add is, you know, we're starting to add a lot of artifacts, and I know we've had a couple players complain or sort of mention, hey, it's sort of
one or two.
It's sort of limiting to only be able to sort of track and upgrade 5 at a time. Well, we have some good news. In season 5, we are increasing that to 10. So that will help players a lot.
They did it.
That's awesome.
Only took them 5 months.
One last thing on the subject of artifacts. The improved group.
In case you missed that, right now the number of artifact quests that you can have at the same time is only 5, which is pretty frustrating for a lot of people because they get stuck in the point where they're trying to upgrade the weapon in the gypsum kiln. You can now have up to 10 quests at the same time, which, considering that adding more and more artifacts makes sense. Go back, new artifact missed. I don't think I missed anything there. We saw Phoenix. I mean, I know there's a spear as well. We saw that there's a spear there, there's a chest piece, and there's a pair of legs, but they haven't actually hovered over those yet, so we'll just have to wait for them. I think there is a separate post as well somewhere on newworld.com, so we'll find it there. They're going to keep going over them, don't worry. You missed the spear? Are you sure, chat? They didn't mouse over a spear at any point. Are you guys not thinking about later on in the video? There is something coming up. I'm just going to keep going, okay? Like, I'm pretty sure we didn't miss anything there. Really? What? When? When did I miss the... I see the spear, but they didn't actually hover over it. Few seconds back. Are you sure?
But personally, for me, percent you can do some 180 seconds. If you hit 0 health and you're supposed to die, you'll gain 2 seconds of invulnerability. So anybody who may have played a while ago and used to enjoy that from Berserk on the Hatchet, it's there in an artifact form. So
wait, what? Oh, okay, I see. Sorry, I don't even know what I was doing, chat. Here we go. Venom Spear, poison tipped. Heavy attacks with either weapon cause poison, dealing 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Trenchant crits and trenchant strikes. And again, Defile, which I assume is just a bug that it's down there. Heavy attacks with either weapon cause poison damage, dealing 20. Oh, dude, this is going to be really good to run with Syncretic Bow. Holy flip. This is going to be very good to run with Syncretic Bow. And it's got the double trenchant, which is what makes Serenity like really good. This is pretty interesting. Heavy attacks with either weapon. Yeah. That could be really good. That could be really good. Also, yeah, when you do the coup de grace, the leg sweep, and then the stab down is also a heavy attack as well. That could be interesting. I think the Defile being on everything is... no, because the Defile's been on every artifact. I think, obviously, they've recorded this on like a very early sort of test version or whatever, so I'm going to assume the Defile being on literally every artifact is just like a bug during recording or whatever.
This sort of track and upgrade 5 at a time.
That seems very good with the bow spear build, though, chat.
In season 5, we are increasing that to 10, so that will help players a lot.
That's awesome.
One last thing on the subject of artifacts. The improved group finder that's coming out. This is kind of a late update, but the Lost Stopwatch, which gives a taunt ability, will work in the role select for signing up as a tank. That's late breaking update, but we were able to get that in.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this.
Thanks
It's
for
good.
the critical news up there.
Yeah. Everybody can relax. It's okay now.
We're good. No, it is actually nice.
That is good to hear.
So one of the things we've been asked for a lot over the last year, I'm pretty excited. Well, I'm pretty excited to let Dave talk about is the thing that used to be sitting up there in one of our videos. You want to run with this?
This controller, dude.
Yeah, I think you're talking about controller.
I am talking about controller.
So season 5 finally brings the long-awaited first step of controller support in New World.
Oh my goodness.
So as I mentioned, this is step 1. We are mostly focused on core gameplay in this one. So really just making sure all the sort of running around, navigating, combat, all that feels really good. We've added a couple cool things with that focus on core combat navigation, and number 1 is some aim assist, which will be active during PvE, a target lock.
Dude, they're definitely bringing New World to a flipping console. Look at this, man. This feels like a console thing 100%.
That you can use, and also some refinements to the way navigation works on the controller. So that has been really our focus for this release. We also have implemented, a virtual cursor that allow you to navigate around the various menus. You'll see a couple of the menus we've added sort of hints and shortcuts to already. More of those will be coming along over the subsequent seasons. We'll be trying to update all the screens so that there's sort of quick ways to do some of the actions. The last thing I think some people may miss in season 5 is there is no remapping. There's a couple default.
Oh, I saw something interesting there. Look at that. Magnify. There's a drop-down option for what Magnify does. I'm sure this is getting talked to. I know you guys, I've already seen Twitch chat talking about it, but look at that. Magnify option. Option for Magnify. Also, I don't know what that is. Is that a Warhammer? That must be a Warhammer. Looks kind of cool. Any new weapon icons in here? Is there any spoilers, any secrets that they accidentally leaked? Flail, Void Gauntlet. No, these all look normal as well. Alright. Yeah, Twitch chat is like, for those of you on YouTube, I got Twitch chat and they're just like feeding me little whispers because they've just skipped ahead and read things and stuff like that. Also,
the last thing I think
pausing.
some people may miss in season 5 is there is no remapping. There's a couple default options you can choose from, but no remapping in season 5.
Interesting.
Obviously, we are aware of that. We are going to bring it to you later. It just wasn't ready for season 5.
I encourage people to play with the controller. It's game changing. I mean, it feels so different and it feels really good, especially if you're more of a controller type of player. I'm excited for it.
We're going to try it, chat. We'll try it in the PTR.
All right, well, another thing we've been promising for a long time is the finalization of the 1 through 60 MSQ.
Oh, okay.
Update. So
I was
MSQ
thinking like,
2.3,
I think they were going to say Outpost
finishes
Rushmap.
the story. You want to give some high levels on that?
Yeah, just high level, because there's going to be a full Forge and Eternum that details all of this. So I don't want to spoil it. But like Scott said, this is sort of the culmination of the MSQ 2.3 pass all the way through. And this one, we focused on Evanscale Reach and Shattered Mountain, sort of bringing the rest of the story in. It brings with it 2 new soul trials, which are going to be super fun. It brings in a host of new IGCs, a couple of the new,
in-game
sort of
cutscene.
painterly cinematics.
What the flip?
So it's great. And I think most importantly of all, for the solo players out there, you will now be able to do the whole story of the Isabella arc all the way without having to do an expedition. You can do it all solo. So pretty exciting stuff.
I think the Isabella
cool.
fight is a blast. I think Chad and his team have done a great job making that. It's really come together. It's a cool final stamp on that story. From hardcore story to cooking, but we have made some changes to cooking. So why don't you take us through those, Tony?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a lot of changes to cooking coming up here in the future. I'm not going to go into too many details because we're going to have a Forge and Eternum coming out shortly after this video, as well as some more fun cooking shenanigans
probably like
in
Tuesday,
the future
Wednesday,
after
chat.
that. But the high level of it is we wanted to take a look at the trade skill. Now that we have a better understanding of what players are chasing, what players are making, what players are cooking, there was a lot of stuff in the cooking trade skill, and we really wanted to pare that back and really focus on what players were using. So we cut back significantly on the recipes. We did tuning on experience curves as well, making it easier and more fluid to level, and just a whole lot of changes. It really slims down the crafting menus, which helps with performance. Just all in all, I think the changes make it feel a lot more focused, I guess, if you will. And so really looking forward to some of the changes we have for cooking and other things as we simplify those as well.
Yeah, I think
sounds good. Hopefully they haven't made taking things away like can be an improvement, but if all they've done is take recipes, hopefully it's been replaced or updated at the same time, you know, it's not just like they took recipes out. They made it like a better way to make gold or I don't know, something.
I think the exciting thing is to see the response to this, and then if we like it, start looking at other trade skills and repeating the pattern.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. You know,
I think in general there is like a lot of bloat when it comes to cooking. Like not cooking, like crafting in general. Like there are a lot of things when I scroll through my crafting menu for like different things I can make and all these recipes that I get. Most recipes that you get for like armoring and weaponsmithing and stuff are just kind of terrible anyway, chat. So they could probably do away with all of those named recipes for like weapons and armor from like back in the early days of New World. Like they could remove so much stuff and I don't think anybody would really care. So they could do that if they wanted to.
The feedback that we get from this is going to influence and then, you know, motivate how we approach other trade skills as we do these in the future.
And so what can players expect in terms of like the things that they've already cooked or like their existing items, like how
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, so let's say, so I'll talk to split stat foods, right? And so maybe you have focus strength food for whatever reason. And when this patch comes out, what we're going to be doing is whatever the main stat is for the split stat foods, you're going to be getting the same tier as that as a primary stat. So if you had focus strength at tier 4, you're just going to have a tier 4 focus food. And that'll go all the way through. And it does it for crafting foods, gathering foods, because again, a lot of the simplifications, there's just one tier for crafting and gathering now as well. We lowered the level requirement to use those. And again, it just should feel like a much more polished experience.
That's awesome.
Sounds
we have
good,
a change coming to OPR, Dan, that you want to talk about?
Whoa, Outpost Rush.
Some of us glimpsed this in a PTR, a few PTRs back.
They deleted it.
We're very excited that we've done some. We've got this ready to go out, and mounts are now allowed in OPR.
Oh, nice, dude. That's pretty good.
That is going to be awesome. I cannot wait.
Feels
okay. I mean, you know, a new map would have been cool, but I do find it kind of weird that they introduced mounts into the game, and the mount races, you do them once, you never do them again. Mounts aren't used in wars, they're not used in invasions, they're not used in Outpost Rush, they're not used in arena, they're not used in expeditions. Like you basically don't use mounts anywhere other than open world. I just think it was kind of weird. So mounts actually being able to be used in Outpost Rush, yeah, makes sense. I think it would be kind of cool. Also, make it easier to do like rotations and stuff as well. Sneak around, get the back cap or whatever, go gather materials if you're in a PvE mode. Should be fun.
20 people riding their mounts across.
It was on the PTR for the expansion, I'm pretty sure, the
like
mounts in Outpost Rush.
really good.
That's great. So a while ago, I think it was quite a while ago, we talked about that we were looking at overhauling our combat system.
Yeah.
And I think we're pretty much getting pretty close to rolling that out. Dave, do you want to share some deets?
Interesting.
Yeah, so
okay, here we go.
We're redoing the sort of core scripting system which drives all the animation and combat logic in our game. This is a huge initiative, obviously. You know, it's all combat, all navigation, and it's all being redone in this new system. The new system, there's actually going to be a blog by Kevin, who's the architect who did all this, that sort of dives deep into how it works, because I don't understand it all. But the key thing to understand is that it is now going to be basically natively compiled C++ code. So that makes it way, way faster, which is going to be great, especially in sort of like very complex scenes like in war or in chest runs, wherever there's a lot of density, this will really help out. But yeah, it is a major overhaul. All of our actions, all of our abilities, everything has changed. So, you know, there is a chance that some things may be slightly different, hopefully for the better. But please.
That was a good sign, chat. He did skewer, and the enemy was lower than him, and it's still connected. Because a lot of the time, when an enemy is lower down than you and you press an ability, it just doesn't connect. So it does look pretty smooth. But it still looks like New World. Because I was worried when they said they were going to do like a combat code rework. I was like, oh no. This is not going to feel like New World's combat anymore, but it looks like New World's combat, but it looks a lot smoother. So this is going to be one of the things where we have to play it though to really get a feel for it. Like we're going to have to play it. But this sounds very positive.
Please let us know if you notice anything playing that you think is less good than it was previously. Let us know. But yeah, the goals here are, one, really help improvement in performance, and second, This is actually a much more debuggable system because it's natively compiled. We can set in breakpoints, we can check variables, all sorts of things that makes it easier to debug. So this, the engineers in the group are happy. But what that means for you all, the players, is that it will be easier to fix bugs,
Nice.
and especially the desyncs, which were really hard to fix on our old system, will be much easier to fix. So
Yeah, this sounds good.
look forward to improved performance and then improved stability and bug fixing in the future. But there might be a little hump as we first introduce this in season 5, where we're sort of ironing out all the kinks.
And let me
I actually like low key chat think this might be like the biggest update New World has had in like, I don't know, maybe ever. Like if this does what I hope it does, and that it just makes New World stable and it allows them to like, I don't know, hopefully makes New World less buggy, or if it does have a bug, they can fix it very quickly because they actually know what the heck is going on. Because to my understanding, the biggest problem with New World is the devs don't really know. They don't understand the game. It's like, because the game is just a mess. They pull on a piece of string and then just like everything falls apart because it's like attached to something on the other end that they don't know. Whereas now they know where everything is. They've like, basically they had a big room, like a big messy room chat, and they were just shoving things under the bed. You know, they were cleaning their room by just pushing things under the bed. And then when it came to try and find something, they didn't know where it was because they just shoved it under the bed. But now they've like taken it out. They've cleaned everything. It's all neatly laid out. It's all sort of compartmentalized. So this could be really good. I know it's not going to be like too exciting, you know, it's not new content or anything, but it does sound really good. Also, let's be honest, this is probably a setup for console as well. I think this is another reason, because it sounds like it's going to improve performance. This is probably another indication of New World on console.
we just manage expectations. Like, we got the base system in, so your performance may not have a drastic improvement immediately.
Yes.
It's going to enable us to understand and improve it over time in a much more dramatic way. So day one, you may not get a huge performance gain, but it's going to give us data and the ability to go back and make performance better. And by the way, it will get better, but there's going to be more leaps coming because of this framework.
And there should be a noticeable decrease in like the memory footprint.
Yeah, especially on the server, right?
Server and client.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a big deal. And you know, we like Dave said, this would be a great one to give us feedback on. As you know, remember, different doesn't mean bad, but figure out, like, help us understand what's bad, not just different. All right, well, we're going to go back to Tony, who's going to tell us about some of the upcoming events in Season 5.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of your old favorites returning. We're going to have Rabbit's Revenge coming back.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to go ahead and kill your furry friends in order to get that coveted chest that everybody always goes after. And then we also have Springtide Bloom coming around again with some revamped rewards. So we're excited to see players dive into those and earn some cool stuff.
All right, we're going to finish
it?
on a positive,
Okay.
hopefully. Dave V has a surprise to share about a new quality of life feature that he's really built up, so I hope it lives up to it.
I think it will.
Oh, here we go, chat.
Beyond just the artifact change, which you mentioned earlier, which is great QL. Another piece of feedback we've gotten a lot is Magnify. Hey, this thing can be hard to manage in all my builds. I wish I had a little more control. And you know, we've gotten lots of different suggestions how to do it. In Season 5, we're going to be introducing a new QL change where you can choose the attribute that all your Magnify applies to.
What could be better than that?
Nice, dude.
We
I
like
think.
this approach.
Is that
You
good?
can't like individually apply them all, which some people had suggested. We thought that was a little bit too strong, but here you can choose one attribute for all your Magnify points, and it should give you a little more flexibility in terms of builds, especially if you use Magnify across multiple builds.
I think that
Awesome.
Does that solve the
All right,
problem?
well, that's all
I
we
hope it
have
does.
today. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw and you want us to keep doing these, like us, follow us, subscribe, and all of that. Otherwise, thank you so much, and we will see you in Eternum.
Bye.
Hey, I thought the big surprise was going to be that we're lowering the cost of respec.
One more QOL update that's super important. We've gotten lots of feedback on respecking, especially
Yeah, we
in our
hate it.
classal system. Hey, it costs too much. Well, guess what? The cost is being shattered. We got a huge sale in Season 5. Respec is now 50 coin.
50 coin.
Woohoo!
Okay.
It's like a pack of gum. Come on. All right. Anyway,
Nice, dude.
thanks. See ya. Bye-bye.
All right. That's pretty good, chat. 50 gold. I mean, free would have been better, but 50 gold's not too bad. So you could respec 4 times. You could do 4 respecs for the price of 1 in Season 5. So Season 5 is going to be on March, chat. It is basically 1 month from now. If you're watching this video, today is the 12th of February. So yeah, 1 month to go. I think there is also a web post. A web post? What do you call it? Like a website chat. A thing on the internet that we can take a look at as well. Some text and some pictures. A thing that's not a video. Let's see. I think, is it on here? Season of the Guardian, March 12th to June 4th. The 4th of June. So, yeah, I guess June 4th is probably going to be around the time that we'll actually get the new roadmap as well. So, let's see. Checked out the PTR. New season, Winter Rune Forge. That looks pretty cool. New artifacts. Okay, so we got all the list of artifacts here as well. We did take a look at this in the video, but is there anything that we missed? So we got the Venom Spear, we got the Sin Hatchet. Yeah, so Defile is from the Sin Hatchet. I think it was just a bug. We said this many times, but I think Defile appearing on every other artifact was probably just some PTR bug. What the heck is this? Nature's Wrath. Medium chestware. Empower expires 200% faster, but you deal 20% more damage. Wait. With Empower or just in general? You just deal 20% more damage, like always? Or you deal 20% more damage when you have an Empower? Ooh, that could be, I mean, that could be really good with a Greatsword, to be honest, chat. Because Greatsword, like, basically has Empower all the time. Serenity just giving itself Empower. If you're standing inside Oblivion, that is, like, always active as well. This could be really good for a Void Gauntlet, because Oblivion is, like, basically a permanent Empower, because it doesn't expire. Yeah, that seems pretty strong. It's a medium chest, so it is going to be artifact, obviously, artifact armor. So it's going to be competing with like Nimble Coat, Tumbler Feet Wraps, Attuned Leather Pants, Featherweight, etc. That sounds pretty strong though. Sounds pretty good. Iron Heart, we get some heavy legs. When not in a heavy loadout, gain 20% more max health. Wow, that's kind of interesting. When not in a heavy loadout, gain 20% more. So they're trying to appeal to medium players here, because I don't think you can wear heavy legs and be in a light equip load, other than if you have Featherweight, but obviously you can't have Featherweight because you've got Iron Heart. So this is trying to appeal to medium. Kind of interesting. But yeah, they're heavy legs, so you'd have to do like heavy legs, heavy helmet, and then you would do like light chest, medium boots, medium gloves, or something like that. Yeah, you can't use it with Featherweight. Read the amulet. Yeah, we saw this in the video. It's basically Defy Death. This is going to be a staple for healers in PvP, and maybe even healers in PvE. The downside of an amulet is you can't keep changing the protection perk, so you can't have like Frost Protection and then Flame Protection and then Void Protection, so you're just going to have to choose one protection perk. But for healers in PvP, this is going to be like a staple. And it's going to make healers even harder to kill. So, yeah, that's pretty, I don't know. That sounds like the most one that I'm going to see. You know, I can foresee PvP players being upset about that one. We get the thing with, like, the permanent Jasper, the kind of meme boots. The Great Axe that gives you, like, you mega spin. You get Whirlwind 10 times. I don't know. The Great Axe sounds like a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to trying these out in the PTR chat. Speaking of which, I think also... they did mention that this is going to be on the PTR as well, right? So obviously there's quite a bit of stuff to read through here. Mounts, Rabbit's Revenge, Springtide Bloom. Yeah, here we go. PTR. The PTR will officially open on February 14th. Okay, so that is Wednesday, right? Valentine's Day. Okie dokie, dude. The content will be rolling in waves. Okay, so during this iteration of the PTR, we look forward to hearing your player feedback on the Winter Rune Forge Season 5 artifacts, main story quest update, controller support, upgraded combat and animation system, weapon balance updates. So yeah, the artifacts are in here, cooking trade changes. All right, pretty big PTR chat. Gonna be a fun one to tune into. Probably gonna happen later on in the day. Most of the PTRs are quite late on in the day. But yeah, fairly big update. Cool. It was nice to get some good news. It's a bummer about the roadmap getting delayed, but in general, pretty cool stuff for New World. At least it's something new to talk about. So guys, once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you want to check out the patch notes here of the video, all of that stuff. I'll have a link to it in the description down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. Is this too little, too late? Would you guys like to see more? I mean, I always want to see more as well, but this is kind of more than what I'm expecting. I don't know. I feel like I've set my expectations low for New World these days. So kind of when we get anything, I'm I'm excited about it. But yeah, all of this content is going to be coming out basically a month from now. March 12th is the release date, and the PTR is going to be this week, so we'll get to try it out on the test server and see what it's like. So if you want to see it live on the test server, I'll be streaming links to the stream in the description down below. Twitch chat, you guys are already here, but if you want to go back and watch this YouTube video, then you guys can type !YouTube. Otherwise, links to the stream in the description down below. All right. Like the video if you like the video, friends. Subscribe for more New World content, and I will catch you guys all in the next video.